Welcome to a brand new episode of Johnson's Court. Today, I'm super excited to be with you, just like I am every other time I'm in front of the camera. But today, I'm excited to talk to you about football once again because Week 8 is here. Week 8 is here better than ever, and guess what? Thursday night already kicked off. But once again, we've already done our picks. And would you look at what it is? It was between the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Rams. This was a home game for the Rams, and guess what? They got that dub. Me, I didn't get that dub. I lost. So, 0 for 1 to start the week. So is Nick. He's 0 1. And then Beagle here, let me just see here. He also picked the Vikings, so that also puts him at 0 1. So we all start the week 0 1. But before I continue to go on to our Sunday night games, and our Monday night game, last week, our records. Beagle and Nick tied going 10 and 5, and I went 11 and 4. Just messing with you guys there if you guys know how to do math on your fingers. So I went 11 and 4. I had the best record last week. Let's see if I can keep that up. As of right now, we've all got the same record. We are all 0 and 1. Right now, I don't know what our halfway record is. Next week, I will do that because week 9, I will do that. I will count before that to see where we are, wise, and who's in first, who's in second, and who's in third. So as of right now, I know it should be pretty close. I know no one's not too far off from everybody. So, maybe you tie for second place, could be a tie for third, but I know someone has to be in first place. That is all I know. Your next game is the Packers and Jaguars. This is the Packers going and playing the Jaguars. So the Jaguars, we're in London for 2 weeks. They were able to get a dub over the Patriots, but let's see how it lasts that long. They are the number one team in turning the ball over, where the Packers force teams to turn the ball over the most. So yes, this is our game for the Packers, so go ahead and give me the Packers. Let's see here. Nick also thinks the Packers, and so does Beagle. So would you look at that? We're either 1-1 or we're 0-2. Your next 1 o'clock game is the Arizona Cardinals versus the Miami Dolphins. Now, exciting news that we have is that Tua is going to play. Tua is coming off the IR. Tua was able to pass the concussion protocol, and he is now able to, return to the NFL. Be the guy that he is in, for a lot of fantasy owners, that helps if you have Tyreek Hill on your team like me. So let's see how that improves him. I don't think that they'll play pretty well since he's been away from the team for a while. It is the Cardinals coming in. They're, clicking, getting their groove. So give me the Cardinals over the Dolphins. Nick thinks the same thing. He thinks the Cardinals will win. But Beagle thinks the Dolphins will win here. He does think that, Tua returning, that he gets the job done. Don't know. I haven't seen him play in a while. Can he pick up where he left off? Then you've got the New York Jets coming in and playing the Patriots. This is an NFC East, AFC East showdown, and the Jets need all the wins they can get, especially versus division opponents that they want to think that they have a shot at making the NFL playoffs. So give me the Jets here. I don't see too much life. Oh, man. I like Drake May, don't get me wrong. And he played decent versus the Jaguars, but, it just wasn't enough. He needs to keep going. And the Jets also added Devontae Adams. And this is week 2 with him, and I think they're going to play pretty well. Nick is going to go the Jets, and so is Beagle. Our next matchup is the Baltimore Ravens playing the Cleveland Browns. Now, we all saw, if you haven't heard by now, Deshaun Watson did tear his Achilles. He is out for the rest of the season. Might be the best thing that happened to the Browns in a while, because you get the finger licking good Jameis Winston here for the Cleveland Browns. Now, will that help him? Will that not help them? I don't know how well that's going to be. Does Jared Jeudy take off because he is now the number one receiver for the Browns since Amari Cooper was traded? Derrick Henry's a beast. He's a boss. I don't think the football gods are looking too down on the Browns. Jameis Winston really is going to need to know that playbook, and that 2020 vision is going to have to help him. So give me the Ravens here. Nick's going Ravens, and Beagle is going the Ravens as well. Our next pick is the Philadelphia Eagles playing at the Bengals. Now, Barkley, A.J. Brown, they're getting a groove. They're playing pretty well. But it's at the Bengals. Joe Burrow has been playing well. I think you give me the Bengals here because I'm never going to count them out. Nick thinks the Bengals, but Beagle thinks... If I can find this pick here. He thinks the Eagles. He thinks the Eagles. I don't think so. Then you've got the Indianapolis Colts playing the Houston Texans. Colts have just been beat up. Their secondary's been beat up. Houston Texans, they had a good matchup at the beginning of the year. Let's see them and see where this goes on the second time around. It is at home for the Texans, so I think the Texans get it done. Nick thanks the Colts. Obviously, that makes a lot of sense. I can see that being his pick right there. But Beagle's gone the Texans with me. Then you got Tennessee Titans playing the Lions. Pretty easy here. Don't really have to say too much. DeAndre Hopkins did get traded to the Chiefs. He said he hasn't been playing meaningful football for the past few years, and I can see that in your stats and the way you play. So hopefully you pick up meaningful football and have a great rest of your career. So going Lions here. So is Nick, and so is Beagle. That made sense. Then you got the Falcons and Buccaneers. The Buccaneers lost both their wide receivers, Chris Godwin, for the rest of the year with some kind of ankle injury. So there goes him. And then they lost Mike Evans when he re-agitated his hamstring for a few weeks. So, I mean, Baker's really going to pull through, especially they're at home. So that gives them a little bit of advantage. But give me the Falcons here on the road. I like what Kirk Cousins is doing for them, and I think he can keep it up. Nick thinks the Bucks here. I don't know what the hell he's thinking, but that's what he's thinking. But Beagle's got pretty good head on his shoulders. He is going the Falcons. Then you have the Saints and Chargers. Give me the Chargers. The Saints just aren't good until they get Derek Carr back. Nick thinks the Chargers. His head is back on his shoulders. And Beagle thinks the Chargers as well. Then at 4 or 5, you get the Bills and the Seahawks. This would be a good game, but give me the Bills on the road. I believe DK Metcalf is not playing this game. Nick thinks the Bills will win, and so does Beagle. Then you're at 425, which might be game of the week, is the Chicago Bears playing the Commanders. If I had to guess, I already know Beagle is going to pick the Bears, which makes sense. But also, I do not believe Jaden Daniels is playing. I don't know who the Commanders' backup is, he's game time decision, so I don't know who your backup is. So go ahead and give me the Bears as well. But Nick thinks the Commanders can get it done with or without Jaden Daniels. Then you've got the Chiefs and the Raiders. Go ahead and give me the Chiefs here. Shouldn't be much of a fight versus the Raiders. Nick thinks so as well with the Chiefs, and so does Beagle. Sorry, guys, I'm kind of zooming through this pretty fast. Got to go to the grocery store. Got to, get some groceries, get some grub. And then our last 425 games, the Carolina Panthers playing the Broncos. This might be a little closer. Well, Bryce Young is starting, so never mind. It's not going to be closer. Dalton's still starting. It would be closer, but give me the Broncos. Nick thinks the Broncos as well, and Beagle is going to go the Broncos as well. And then our 820 game is Cowboys versus 49ers. Give me the 49ers. Cowboys just aren't looking good. Nick thinks the 49ers, and Beagle's going Cowboys, actually. And then for our last pick, you've got the Giants and Steelers on Monday Night Football. Give me the Steelers. They're playing pretty well, even though they started Russell Wilson. Nick is going to Steelers as well, and so is Beagle. So would you look at that? That is week 8. That is our picks. Thank you guys so much for coming along. Like I said, week 9, I will see how far we are, where we are, first, second, and third place, and I will report back to you guys next week. Have a good one.